Hello guys, Gameboy Hub here. And in today's video, we're gonna be doing another video with this HP laptop over here. Now previously, I did a video on installing Red Star OS on it, which is just a North Korean operating system, and we just took a look at how it runs on actual hardware because previously I only ran it in a VM. Well, today we're gonna be doing something a little bit different, and we are going to be installing macOS 10.4 Tiger on this thing. So yeah, we're basically gonna turn this old computer into a Hackintosh. Now, the thing that I'm going to be installing today is called JaS OS, and it was released all the way back in 2006. And I will leave a link to the ISO image in the description. You basically just need to burn it onto a DVD, like so, and you should be ready to install it. Now, if you don't know the whole story, in 2005, Apple released macOS Tiger to the world, but in 2006, Apple decided to switch from their PowerPC processors to the Intel processors.
We are going to begin the transition from the PowerPC to Intel processors, and we are going to begin it for you now and for our customers next year.
And then they released macOS 10.5 Leopard in 2007, which only ran on Intel processors. But since there was almost a 2-year gap from the release of Tiger to the release of Leopard, they needed to make Tiger be able to run on the Intel architecture. And that's where this comes in. So if you're asking why you can't Hackintosh earlier versions of macOS, well, it is because of that limitation. If an OS was made to run on the PowerPC architecture, you can't adapt it to Intel, which is what most PCs run. So yeah, this is pretty much the first ever Hackintosh that was ever released, so we're gonna be trying it out today. And I've had this DVD burned for about 4 years right now. I've always wanted to try to install this, but I just didn't have the hardware. And now I finally have this HP laptop, which is perfect for these types of software installations. So definitely expect more videos in the future. But yeah, let's not ramble on any further and actually put the DVD into the drive. So we're just gonna put it in and we're gonna shut down the computer and boot from it. So let's boot from the CD, and we need to press F9 to load into the boot menu, and here we are. So we just need to select optical disk drive and boot from that, and we need to press any key on this prompt. Okay, so we have got to a blue screen and now we can move the mouse around. On that previous prompt, so many things failed. I thought it just wasn't gonna boot, but I guess we are gonna get somewhere, hopefully. And there we go, we get the language selection screen. So after all that clicking of the drive and a bunch of failed prompts on that previous screen, we did get into the macOS installation, which is pretty cool if you ask me. So yeah, I guess let's try to continue and we'll see how far we get, and hopefully we are able to install this now. So yeah, I'll select English. And here we are in the official installer. So it says, welcome to the JaS OS 10.4.8 AMD Intel SSE2 and SSE3 installer. So they did definitely change this installation screen a little bit, so you can definitely see that this is a custom installation. Let me go over to the disk utility and try to format the hard drive. So let's enter disk utility. Everything is painfully slow. I guess it's because it's all loading off of that DVD. But yeah, so far it has been so good. Okay, great. So this is our optical drive. This is our hard drive. So let's format this. So we'll go over to erase and we'll format it as macOS Extended Journaled, which is what we need. And we'll just call this HDD. There we go. And yeah, let's click erase and erase. And there we go, it has also deleted all of the unnecessary partitions that were on this drive before. I remember I had trouble with that during the Red Star OS installation. So now we have our hard drive formatted, so we can go back to the installation and start it. So yeah, let's click continue right over here. And there we go, it recognizes our partition that we just made, so we will continue. And it is asking us what we want to install. I will install everything that is available on here. I don't need the AMD one because I have nothing from AMD in this computer. Titan, Nvidia, and ATI support. That is interesting. I guess that has something to do with the graphics card. But yeah, I'll just install absolutely everything and click on the install button. And now the installation should hopefully start. And first it will check our installation DVD, which is fine. I'm not going to skip this because I want to see the entire installation. So yeah, I guess I'll just speed a few things up and I'll be back when something interesting happens. Okay, so my phone just randomly shut off while this was checking the installation DVD, but now that has close to being done. So yeah, I'm resuming the time lapse from here and let's hope this finishes without any problems. Nice, and there was a problem checking your disk, so we pretty much did all of this waiting for nothing. I'll just click ignore and continue and hope this installs, so yeah, let's just continue. Okay, so it's about an hour later and I think the installation has failed somehow. It got to the end and it said that the computer was about to restart, and then I just took out the disk and restarted the computer. And now when I try to boot from the optical drive, now I clicked the wrong one, I meant to boot from the hard drive, I'm sorry. And now when we try to boot from the notebook hard drive, so we'll just press enter, we just get this blinking cursor up there, and this persists for about 5 to 6 minutes is how much I've let this sit. But yeah, we don't get any hard drive activity while this blinks, so I think it's safe to say that something has failed. I have looked online and sometimes all of the add-ons that I try to install can mess up the installation. So yeah, I guess let's just restart the installation one more time and we'll see if we can get it to work the second time. So I guess we need to pop the disk back in. And let's just boot from the optical drive once again. And yep, let's go for the optical disk drive and restart the installation. So we'll select English once again. And the first thing I was told to try on the forums is to format things a little bit differently. So let's go over to the disk utility once again. So from what I've gathered, it wants us to partition the drive first, and then it wants us to erase the partition because sometimes this partition gets formatted wrong if we first don't partition the drive and then erase it. So I'll just erase the partition one more time as macOS extended journaled. So let's do Hackintosh HDD like so, and let's erase the partition as macOS extended journaled. See, we do get an error, so yeah, maybe this was the issue. So I'll just try this once again. So let's then partition the disk first. So let's delete this partition, and now I'll just do free space like so and partition the drive. Partition failed with the error invalid argument. Okay, let's try that once again. Okay, so let's just erase the drive like we did before then, I guess. And I accidentally capitalized the A, so there we go. Now let's click erase and erase. Okay, and now that has worked. So let's now try to erase the partition once again, and we just get the error once again. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I'm just going to leave disk utility if I can. So I'm just gonna quit disk utility. Let me just go back into it to see if we still have that partition, and yes, we do. Okay, so I'm just gonna try to install it once again on this partition, and I'll try to select the other things a little bit differently. So let's go continue here. Okay, we can see the hard drive, and now what we're basically told to do is just to disable absolutely everything and to only enable the Intel kexts that are included, because this is needed if you have an Intel CPU, which is what I do have. So we're just gonna check this and install only that and click the install button. So now the installation has started back up, so I'm gonna hope that it ends better than it did last time. So I'll be back when the laptop is about to restart. And unfortunately, after the second installation, we get the same thing. So yeah, I don't really know what I'm gonna do now, but I'll go try to look at some more solutions and I'll be right back. And I tried the installation the third time, but this time I selected macOS Extended instead of macOS Extended Journaled when I was formatting the drive, and we get the blinking cursor once again. So now I'll just try it with another laptop that I've got, so let's hope that it'll work on that one, I guess. I guess I was too fast to say this HP is the perfect machine for trying these things out, because here we go, this is the first piece of software that doesn't actually work on it, so yeah. And here is my trusty Fujitsu laptop. It is also a Windows XP era machine that is running an Intel Celeron of some sort, and I showed it off in the 2 free laptops video. So if you guys want to watch that video, you can click on the iCard right now. And yeah, let's try to install this OS on this one. So I'll insert the DVD into the drive and close that, and here we are in the boot menu, and I'll just select CD-ROM drive and see what happens. And it also boots the OS just fine, so I'll just press enter so it starts to boot. And yeah, let's hope that we'll be able to install it on this guy. I also realized that this is a much better angle for recording this. So yeah, I guess I'll just wait to see if it boots into the installer like the other one did and try everything the same as I did before. So let's hope it works. So this laptop seems to have a problem where the drive just stops spinning after a while and I can't even get into the installation screen. Soon it will say that it's trying to look for the root device, which means it can't even detect the DVD drive, which is a shame. I do have one more ace up my sleeve, so I do have another machine that is similar in age and specs to these ones. Yeah, here you can see now it says still waiting for root device. So yeah, let's try out that machine, even though it isn't in the greatest of states, but we'll try it anyways. And here is that machine, and it is another HP Compaq. However, this one is a few generations newer than the other one. So yeah, I have it plugged into the external monitor right here because the screen is absolutely totaled, as you can see. So it's currently running Windows 10. We're gonna try to install the Hackintosh on it, and yeah, we'll see if that is possible. So we are not getting any video output, unfortunately, but you can see it right over here on the scrolling screen. So yeah, I just hope that it will boot into the installer and then that it will show on the monitor. But yeah, I'll try to continue like this and we'll see what happens. It seems to be getting farther than the Fujitsu did, so that's pretty good. So I had a little trouble with viewing the display on the second monitor that I connected. It would just show on the other one. So if you guys are having the same trouble and you want to see your laptop on startup on the external display, you just need to press the FN key. And then in my case, the F4 key has this icon right over here, which looks like 2 displays. So I just need to press FN plus F4 on startup, and then my screen will show on the second display. So I'll show that right now. So we start up our laptop and then we just hold the FN key and spam the F4 key. And there we go, there is our display on the second monitor. So now we can work and install this normally, hopefully. So I'll just wait for this to boot from CD and we'll continue with the OS X 10.4 installation, because as you can see, now we can see everything normally on the second screen. So there you go, you learn something new every day. So let's continue with this video. And we have successfully booted into the installer, which is an improvement over the Fujitsu, but it still isn't the improvement over the original laptop I used. So let's try to go on with the installation normally. And yeah, first I'll try to format the disk and we'll see where that takes us and if it will have any problems. So let's make our way over to disk utility. And here we go. So now we can format the original hard drive, which is what I'll do right now. So I'll go over to erase and we'll do macOS Extended Journaled. We'll call it Hackintosh HDD, like so, and click erase. And then click the erase button. and that seems to have worked the first time, which is great. So we'll just exit disk utility and let's continue with the installation. So we'll select the hard drive that we just made, and on this screen I'll again do only the Intel thing that we need for the actual processor. And yeah, I'll just click the install button and let's cross fingers and hope this finally installs. Right, so as you can see, it is nighttime already and it is quite a few hours from where the last clip was. And I'm also back on the original HP laptop that we started this video with, and as you can see, we got to the macOS welcome screen, so we've managed to install it. So, what happened? Well, on that non-working HP laptop, I tried to install it once and it just wouldn't boot. So I went around looking on all kinds of old forums and I found this old post, which basically said that in disk utility, when you're installing this software, you need to partition the drive before you erase it. Now, I came across that prompt before, but I guess I just didn't do that correctly when I tried to reinstall it the first time on this laptop, because what you needed to do is just boot into the installer, go into disk utility and just click on the partition option and then delete the partition that we made before and just select macOS extended journaled for the new partition, name the partition whatever you want and just create it, and then when you installed everything it just works. So I've got no idea why that is. I've got no idea why it bugs out when you just erase the drive normally. But yeah, now I got it working on both of those machines. So yeah, I guess I'm just back on the first one for convenience. So yeah, let's just finish with the installation because I'm really interested in how this runs and what it looks like. We'll select the United States for our region. We won't transfer any information, and let me see if there is a Croatian keyboard that I can select. Here it is, so I'll just select the Croatian keyboard and click continue. I'm not going to connect to the internet right now because by default Internet Explorer doesn't work on this OS. It does work, but you know, it won't load any web pages because it is too old. Okay, so now we need to type all of this in. Also, if you want to know a cool thing, a way to skip this registration information window is to press Command and Q. Now, since I don't have the Command key, I'm pretty sure the Alt key does that function, so let's see. And yeah, there we go, and then this prompt just pops up and you can click skip right over here. And there we go, now I bypassed it. So we will not put any password in, which is fine. And we need to select our time zone, which I'll just select randomly. And there we go, today is 2025. It is the 16th of March and the current time is correct, I believe. Let me just check. There we go. We'll click save and continue. And there we go. We are officially inside of macOS X 10.4. And it actually seems pretty snappy so far. Yeah, as you can see, everything works pretty good, which is very nice. This just looks so funny on a normal laptop like this. Also, I'm so happy to see this because this took me so long to install. So let's go in about this Mac and we can see all of our specs. So we can see that it is a 1.99 GHz Core 2 Duo processor, and we can also see our 1 GB of RAM. So yeah, let me also try to change the resolution so we can hopefully have it a bit better. So we'll go into our system preferences and then displays. So I guess we can't have a higher resolution. I'm not sure if we maybe need some drivers in order for this to work. Okay, so I inserted the installed DVD back into the machine, and after digging around a bit, I found this folder called packages. And here are all the installations. So let's see if we can get a graphics driver maybe. Now I believe this laptop runs on integrated graphics, so I'm not sure the NVIDIA driver would help us, but let's see what else they got in here. Yeah, so we got a bunch of printer drivers. It's basically all of the things that it asked us if we want to install before. We also have an ATI Radeon driver, but we also don't have a graphics card like that. Let me see the Intel package, even though I'm pretty sure that this is already installed, but you know, we could try to do that again. So let's try to install the Intel package and see if something changes, maybe, because I'm pretty sure this is running on integrated graphics. Later I'll try to install the NVIDIA driver if this doesn't work, even though, as I said, I'm pretty sure this laptop does not have a dedicated GPU, but we'll see. Okay, so that installation has finished, so let's close out of that. And now I'll also try to install the NVIDIA driver. So let's see how that looks. So I'll try to install this right over here. Okay, that was pretty fast, so we can close out of that. We also have this optional installs package, even though I'm pretty sure that is the same one that we get on the actual installation, but let's see if that is true. Yeah, it is. So here we can just install all of the printer drivers, language translations, and stuff like that. So I will just install all of the applications that I didn't install before. So that's now installing, I guess. And there we go, now everything has been successfully installed. So let's just eject the DVD and restart the machine and see if anything has changed. And now I'll just restart the machine. And yeah, unfortunately that changed nothing on the resolution, but it is also possible that this is the only one available in the software. I'm pretty sure that is not the case, however, because you can always lower the resolution. I know you can because I've used this version of OS X on an actual Mac. But yeah, whatever, we are fully in the operating system and everything works absolutely fine, as you saw there while I was installing all of that stuff. If you guys want me to try anything else with this, definitely leave it in the comments below. Also, I'm unable to actually install this version of macOS 10.4 on my iMac G3. I have no idea why. I do have a burnt DVD, so that might be the reason. But yeah, whenever I try to install this, when I click the restart button to enter the installation, nothing happens and the iMac just reboots into OS 9. So yeah, I don't know why that is, but now we finally have a macOS 10.4 machine. So if you're curious about anything on this operating system, definitely leave it in the comments and I can try it out. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys also found it as interesting as I did. And I also hope that you got the feeling of what an actual Hackintosh experience would have been like back in 2006. And yeah, please leave a like for more videos like this one. Also, please check out my Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you guys in the next video.